Welcome back, everybody, to Markonomics 101 presents Hoot Loot, the place you come to be informed, be amused, but never be misled. I am sitting right next to, right there, what's called a QR code. I've learned more about them than anyone would hope to, what anyone would need to know. Actually, you do need to know. Today's show is going to be called, or is called, it's a continuation of the last show. It's the greatest, the biggest money scam in history, part 3. Okay, the more we dig, the more we find out, and that is really scary. How safe is your money? It's not as safe as you think. Now, we're also running a special promotion, and I want to mention that again, that we had Bill Murphy on a couple times, the last couple episodes, or two ago. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a drawing sometime around July 4th, sometime around there, plus or minus a couple days. And the winner is going to get a full year of Bill's terrific newsletter called the Metropole Cafe. And it has a 2-week free trial anyway. So we'll pick up the tab, if you win the drawing. But you have to be a subscriber of ours. You have to be a subscriber of, or at least be a free trial subscriber of his, and then we'll have the drawing, and you pay. We'll pick up the tab. In addition, what we're going to do too is we're going to have for those people who, maybe didn't win but still would like to know everything about precious metals, and you should, and that's the place to know. Bill has a site called GATA, GATA.org. It is a charitable organization. And if you want to make a charitable contribution to Bill to lower the price, the net price, say you think it's worth a little less, then we're going to shake Bill down to, you can make a contribution and we will match it so that you get the price you want. And you still get the, you still get that publication, and you can still sign up for that for free. So, with that, I'm going to tell you that today we're going to ask the question, is your money safe? And you're going to be really surprised by what we have learned. And with that, you can like and subscribe, by the way, down here. Please do. And we'll be back in just a minute with our show. Welcome back. What we're going to do first is we're going to just start with the canaries in the coal mine, and they also have something to do with, shall we say, questionable activities. Let's leave it at that. The first is Bitcoin, and you notice on Bitcoin it's had a little bit of a rally off of sort of a base there. It might be rallying, it might not be. It's really hard to tell. Just today, Bitcoin became legal tender in El Salvador, and believe me, there's a quid pro quo for that. You can look it up yourself, but there was obviously something to it. Someone wants us to go back up again or something like that. I don't know. But if you ever watch the episode, and I encourage you to, called Bitcoin Bites Back, you'll ask yourself the same questions anybody should be asking. Like, how the hell does this thing run? With no management team. And all of a sudden, it just goes on its own, and no one knows who's running it, who started it, who founded it. No one can retrieve a password. Why would you ever do that? I don't know. Anyway, Bitcoin has had a little bit of a bounce. It may be, a rally. It may not be. We'll see. We'll just have to see. Okay? Same with Tesla. I put that in here because it also is a canary in the coal mine, and Elon Musk is too much, just too much. Not only does he think he's going to go to Mars, which is impossible, number one. Number two, he has picked up the contract for SpaceX from the U.S. government, even though they had a 50-year head start. What do you think about that? They knew how to get to the moon 50 years ago, supposedly, but he knows how to get there today, supposedly. Although his rockets blow up often on his platform. Not supposedly, factually. All right, so let's go on. Now, I took these pictures. All right, so this isn't Google Earth this time. This is just me taking pictures, okay? And what you see here is the series of pictures here shows the different sides of the street, near the residence of Nygaard, the guy that I told you about last time, who's held in Canada right now. and you can look up all that stuff yourself. It's public information. Okay. Now, I made the claim that there was a facility, or that I believe that there's a facility there. Showed some pictures, etc., etc. The problem is you can't really get in there. I mean, the place is guarded, number one, but I've seen people, kind of descend, number two. But I took these because if there is to be one there, it'd have to have tremendous power. It would have to have some kind of like supercharged power to run this quote unquote stem cell lab, or the chop them to bits lab, as it probably is. Yeah, I know. God, I hate to even think about it. Anyway, what you'll notice on these is that these poles, some of them have transformers on them. Those are the things that look like buckets. Okay. Now, near where he lives, there's like 2 or 3 that have huge buckets. They're called transformers. They're not the things that the utility workmen come and sit in, and they basically have their own hydraulic crane. It goes up, so they don't sit in these things. These things are to give it extra power, and around that residence is a ton of power, and there's very little on the other side. It's all on his side. Now, if you keep going down the street, what you see is something different. You start to see, okay, these are actually the ones that are at Nygaard's place. I'm sorry, I made a mistake on that. But the point is, look at that. Look how much power is going into this thing. Now here, what you see is something different, okay? You don't see these things as often. When you do, like on the picture on the right, this one right here on the right, oops. You see that because it is powering about 10 places. And there's always just a little wire that goes the other way that powers one place, okay? So you don't see this powering one house ever on my street, ever, okay, or on that street, wherever the hell that is. I'm not going to tell. So, these pictures are powerful evidence to me that there is, something going on there. And, I took these, during the day, thank God. Now, it gets a little creepier from here. What you're looking at under really high magnification is a sign that says, basically, that says a dog is guarding this place, okay? And while I was walking Ace, and I was taking this trying to do this at ultra high magnification so as not to get anywhere near it, this dog came running up to me, and he didn't do anything. He just kind of came up, trotted up, and he and Ace, did their butt sniffing hellos. What dogs just love to do. I don't know why, but I tried to, just sort of, very gently see if I could take a picture of his collar. I couldn't. He just trotted off, never threatened us, never did a thing. Okay, so that was it. That was the dog. He just ran off, just went off. Are you guys okay? Yeah, we're okay. Good. Okay, see you later. Okay, so what you see here is that sign, dogs guarding the place. Okay, so I took that myself that night, and a couple weird things happened. I'll tell you another time, but it gets kind of scary. Okay, so let's talk about the indexes for just a second. Okay, before I get into what this show is really about. Is your money safe? That's what this show is really about. Okay, the Dow Jones, it looks to me like it's kind of rolling over a little bit. I don't know. A lot of things look like they've changed, and I want to bring those to your attention. And they are so hard to explain. I just can't. I really can't. This is a time where you should get liquid and just wait for an opportunity or something like that. That's what I would do. But that's me. The NASDAQ 100 looks like it's going to make a new high, which means that when I go ding, ding, I regret that. You can't unring the bell, so I will eat crow if it makes a new high on Saturday. That's a promise to you. I will eat crow. And I'll also have some Jim Beam before that too. Trust me, it'll take that just to eat crow. Okay. The S&P 600 small cap index, they're all making new highs too. So the market continues to make new highs. All right. So, the ding ding, that didn't do so good on that. The Dow Jones Transportations, though, here's something different. Or as Monty Python would say, not Monty Python, but John Cleese, I think his name was. And now for something completely different. A man with 3 buttocks. If you've never seen British humor, you don't know. If you've seen British humor, that's hilarious. Otherwise, that's kind of dumb. And Ace is even looking at me like, I can't believe you said that, Dad. I can't believe you said that. Okay, well, anyway, the Dow Jones Transportation looks like it's turning. And that's interesting because this thing has been just like going up and going up and going up and going up, never to stop. Okay, but it's now turning, maybe. Okay, the US dollar, we're going to show you some of those stocks. Actually, the stocks are turning too. That's what's interesting. The US dollar continues to be a mystery. Why? Because it's not going down anymore. I mean, we have so many signs of inflation. The very definition of inflation is a drop in the dollar. The only reason it hasn't dropped is that it's up against the euro. Most of the dollar index is comprised of the euro. So the euro, really, this is a dollar versus euro chart more than anything else, which means that euro's a little crummier than the dollar, right, for the moment. Okay, and now this issue of inflation, I continue to bring up. Tomorrow is going to be a report of the consumer price index. Okay, that is a completely fabricated index, and I'm gonna, we'll go through that on the next program. But just be prepared for something weird to happen because they're gonna futz around with the numbers. They always do. I mean, let's face it, there isn't 2% inflation. That's so funny. I can't stop laughing at that thing, 2%. Yeah, Ace doesn't find it funny at all because it means it's dog food. They do shrinkflation where we get it. Unfortunately, that means a smaller bag. Okay, the food prices are going up. They continue to go up. Get your Big Mac for $50 pretty soon. Okay, that's how bad it is. And also, it brings up the prospect of food shortages and the prospect of some unrest, shall we say. Please do not do that, okay? Please do not do that. I'm not urging that. No violence. That will not be a good idea for anybody, okay? The media may want us to be opposed, but we are not opposed, okay? It's them. It's them. They work for us. We don't work for them, okay? Just please understand that and what that means. They should never get reelected, politicians that is, and the media be not watched. Let me put it this way, not watched unless you want a mental illness, and trust me, I know, I'm the king of mentally ill. All right, let's go. Treasury inflation protected securities. These are what the market expects inflation to be. So the higher it goes, the higher the protection is. So in other words, that's against the CPI. Okay, so if the CPI comes in at, they're expecting a higher CPI. But the CPI isn't inflation, so this technically doesn't really protect you against inflation because it's only protecting you from inflation as measured by the CPI, which if you don't eat, you don't drive anywhere, you have no transportation, and you have no rent, then it's a great measure. Other than that, it stinks. All right, so, oops, went a little too far. All right, big oil, they're having a great time. West Texas Intermediate, which is the benchmark crude, crude oil, like Uncle Jed, he shot it in the ground. Well, it's now about $70. And the reason it's about $70 is, guess what? The dollar, inflation. It costs more now to drill a barrel of oil than it did before. That's all there is to it. They had the Colonial Pipeline that got hacked or whatever the hell they're saying about it. I don't even know if it's true or not. But the point is, the logistical problems continue. And big oil is benefiting from them, as you can tell. Looking pretty good. Looking very good. Looking happy. Unleaded gasoline, we all know. We don't drive, so this doesn't matter. And this is going up to new highs too. And gold. Now we're talking, okay? Gold looks like it broke out. And, we've shown you the graph on prior episodes, prior shows about gold versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin topped the day that gold bottomed. They're pretty much close to the day, okay? And now gold has made, not only broken out of its little formation there, its little trend line, but it's also made a 50% retracement, or just about. And that usually either means that's exhausted the bear market or the correction, or it means you're going on to new highs. Now we'll see, because everything is still kind of up in the air, and it's really hard to tell how the market's going to react to the CPI tomorrow. They may suddenly get wait, what are you guys doing there? They may be woke, in other words, by the numbers. And silver, well, here we have the Dow Jones REIT index, and this is another sign of inflation. This is why housing prices are going up. They're not in a bubble. They are going up because the dollar is of less value, and rents are going up at about 10% a year right now, and landlords are raising rent. So there's no reason. This is not in a bubble. This is just This is just basically reacting to a lower value dollar. That's all there is to it. Okay. There's silver. We've talked about this with Bill Murphy, the pattern of being like just this long, drawn out, sideways pattern. But I'll tell you this, right now, if you buy silver coins, okay, you actually go try to get an American Eagle or something like that, which is a really high quality type of silver coin. They're going for about $39, okay, and that's the biggest premium of all time. What it tells me is that there's going to be a delivery problem pretty soon. In other words, there's a bill coming up called the Bureau of I'm sorry, it's the BIS system, and what it does is it's going to take paper gold, which is contracts and guarantees and leases and things like that, and it's coming up on June 28th, and I think this is saying it's going to pass, and if it does, watch out because everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. Don't ever forget that. And if one bank can't deliver, they're caught too short. Oh, it's going to be just an all-out, chaotic affair. That's all I can say. All right, so now we've got something which is really surprising to me, and I predicted a while ago that yields were going to keep going up, and they should be, but they're not. And this is the first sign of it right here. The 5-year Treasury is actually at support or has broken support, depending on, I said 80 basis points, now I put one at 70. This thing might not be going up. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. But the fact that it's gone down this far is a little worrisome, and it's also very strange. I mean, you have inflation problems that are real, okay, and this is going down. I mean, I don't understand it. And that's another reason I think that the NASDAQ is going up, because all of a sudden they have support from interest rates. All right. Now we're looking at the 10-year. Look at this. I had to draw another line too. If this thing breaks below that one, it's like, not good, not good, not good, not good. But why might it happen? Well, I'm about to tell you. Here's the 30 right here. It has broken, and that doesn't look very good at all. Okay, the longer the duration, the more it's broken, and therefore it supports the NASDAQ. Okay, now why would that be the case? Well, the reason that's the case is that when you think about all the wealth in this country, okay, most of it is in the form of stocks or equities or real estate, and Congress also, who are very wealthy, despite having very small salaries, they're all really wealthy. And as Harry Truman said, show me a politician that got rich off politics, I'll show you a crook. All right? And we know they're all crooks. They're crooks, and we need to get rid of them, and we need to vote them out. Vote out the incumbent. Vote out the incumbent. Vote out the incumbent. That's all I got to say. Now here, 20-year Treasury bond, this all of a sudden looks like it's broken up. So all of a sudden now you've got a lot of signs that bond yields are going down because, of course, politicians own them and they want their wealth protected at any cost, and their guy to be reelected at any cost. Even at cost of the economy. Basically, what they do is this. Okay, what they do is they punish savers. Okay, so they take money from savers and otherwise give it to the rich. What a generous bunch of guys. They're just giving it from one group, which is saving money and trying to save for their retirement, do prudent things, and then give it to the rich, pretty much. That's what they do, because Congress is the rich. I hate them. Don't you hate when they talk about the rich like they're so bad? The rich actually created a job. Did you, Mr. Congressperson, ever create a job in your life? Probably not. You probably didn't, because there are no job requirements to be a senator. And the only job requirements are that you're age 25. You don't have to have education. You don't have to have information. You don't have to have anything. No work experience required. You don't even have to show up for work. And believe it or not, with all of that, you can still get reelected and run an economy. Unbelievable. All right, so now what we're going to talk about is really the crux of this story. Is your money safe? And now I'm going to talk about this company first because they really do steal your money. I mean, they stole money from me. I have personal experience with it. I also have screenshots, and I can back that up. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm going to tell you this. I have seen other sites, and I want those people to know that if they've stolen money from you, It only takes 25 people to start a class action lawsuit. And they're begging for one. Okay? Cash App is an absolute thievery. Okay? I mean, I don't know. They stole money from me. They took it right out of my account. Gone. Okay? And it's happening all over the place. It's not only happening there, but it's happening because of, well, actually, I brought in Wells. I put Wells in here for a reason. Wells Fargo's solution to that, I started to say that, I was getting worried about Bitcoin and QR codes and all that being used to steal money. How did the Chinese accumulate so much? All right. And that they can, if a Cash App can't, why can't they tighten up their security so that it can't happen to us? Well, you know what they told me? File a police report. In other words, I'm supposed to go to a police station and say, hey, I want to report a crime that hasn't yet occurred, but I think it might, and it's all the way in China. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, that's what they wanted. Okay, unbelievable. Oh, God. All right, Facebook. Oh, my favorite. Another place. Who owns WhatsApp and Instagram? the basic place. Now, I took WhatsApp off my phone. It's gone. You know why? They put a barcode on it, a QR code. They put one on there. So I got rid of it. I will never use it again. Because once they put that on my phone, I know they mean business, and they are facilitating all kinds of federal crimes and censoring your free speech. Mark Zuckerberg, you're the biggest freaking coward there's ever been. Why don't you let people actually say what's on their minds, not throw them in Facebook jail, and then you go around facilitating, enabling, and helping criminals? What a loathsome bottom feeder you are, pal. All right. Google, as you know, last week we showed you the film of when you press one of these things. It goes to Google. It shows you the Bitcoin transactions, how many were used under that passcode and key. It scrambles. Why? Why does it need to scramble? Another question I don't know the exact answer to, but I have a feeling that it has something to do with why, QR codes, Bitcoin, and all that can be used to swipe money out of bank accounts. Okay? That they're not really that safe. Microsoft, I brought it on here for a reason. Again, Bill Gates has had all kinds of allegations about pedophilia and all that. I'm not going to comment on that other than to say that he's still working on this. He's still working with the company. He's involved in the vaccines. He's involved in all kinds of stuff that, basically put poison in your body. He loves that kind of stuff, except I wonder if he does it himself. I don't know. Who knows? He's never actually told me whether he does or not. Okay, so we're going to go on to Big Pharma. They're the ones. Oh, here we got Dr. Fauci, my favorite guy in the whole world, just about. Dr. Fauci, who has a stake in Wuhan Labs, and actually now there are allegations. I don't know if it's true. Won't say it is. Won't say it is not. But there are allegations that he is actually behind baloney, the flu. Okay, he's behind it. What a conflict of interest. How did this guy get in the position he got into? That's what I want to know. He's working with China. He's a stakeholder. He gets more benefit the more masks you wear, the more he scares you to death, and the more vaccines he forces you to take, and boosters he wants you to take, and he wants you to take it every year, and now there's a new strain coming out. Who would have predicted that? You heard it here first, didn't you? Because we talked about there would be a new strain, guaranteed. Politicians never give power back. Never, ever, ever. Which is why we have to take it back from them. Pay work for us. Fire them. Fire them. I know I'm getting a little hot into the collar here, but at least I haven't had my Tourette syndrome and stimulus check and all that kind of stuff. See, look, I'll calm down. Okay. All right. Anyway, Big Pharma, Anthony Fauci. you should be tried at The Hague. You know that, for crimes against humanity. Finally, we have the bank index here, and of course, we have big banks who always have Washington on their side, because there's always, this partnership between Wall Street, banks, and the government. We all know that because, of course, they're all in cahoots. They collude, but they collude. What can I tell you? Okay, JP Morgan. Well, here you go. Another one that has a stable coin, and another one that they just keep going up, and they always seem to have They always seem to have something going on out there that's a conflict of interest, but I won't even go to that. They're in the cartel that Bill Murphy mentioned. These guys could be in big trouble. We don't know. We don't know what bodies will float to the surface once that law is passed, once and if that law is passed. Okay. Also now FedEx. Now we put these in here because the transportation index, as you recall, was starting to turn over. And that's worrisome because if goods aren't being shipped, goods aren't being made. There's more bottlenecks than we thought. And look at this, all of a sudden it breaks out, and now all of a sudden it turns around. This is one to look at. I don't have an opinion on this. I just want to make sure that you're aware of it. We're looking at it, and this thing may be turning around. I don't know. Market looks like all kinds of weird things is happening. We'll know more about it tomorrow. But then today. And UPS, same thing. Look at that last day. Look at today. What it did today just plunged. So we've got real problems with that. And, I'd like to also mention now some solutions to this issue of your money, okay? The banks are not going to take it seriously, okay? They're not going to take it seriously. So you have to take defensive measures, okay? Defensive measures are, okay, tangible. Make as many things tangible as possible. If you have to if you have a margin account, they can take your money if they sweep your money, okay? Because you have to leave your securities there. So you have to close your margin account. You can get your certificates if you want. They can't take certificates away from you if you, let's say you like a certain stock. They can't take certificates away, and you're allowed to get stock certificates and hold them, okay? So just get the certificates, close the margin, you're done. Then you don't have a problem. Leave as much in the account as you need to pay your bills, but don't, if it happens, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm saying that the odds of it have gone up, and that you have to be cautious. Better 3 weeks early or 4 weeks early or 4 months early than a day late. If it happens, the bank Wells told me, we can give you a notification if there's something happens. All good, give me a notification, I have $0. Thank you very much. So, no, I'm not going to do that. But, you've got to basically go into tangible mode, okay? Make sure you stay out of liquid mode, go into tangible mode. And liquid mode can include things like gold coins, silver coins, includes art, anything that's, nothing illegal, obviously, but just anything that's tangible. Real estate, your house, your house is not tangible. They can't sweep that out of the account. They can just sweep cash out of the account. And the fact, whether they will or they won't, I am not saying that I know anything is going to happen. What I do know is that the odds are increasing because now they're talking about it on certain channels, which I had to watch for your benefit, even though it made me mentally ill. Okay, I watched it. And if they know about it and they're talking about this thing, Bitcoin being a fraud, now they're not fraud. They're not quite at the point of fraud, but they're starting to question its value. And it is a fraud, it's just a password, okay? The Chinese they've moved up the timeline. If they're going to pull something like this, imagine this happening, okay? All of a sudden, one day, you have no money in your account at all. And most of America doesn't have any money. Who's going to fight them, okay? What are we going to fight them with? Okay, think about that. You're not going to have anything, number one. Number two, none of us are going to have anything. There'll be no property rights, and we won't be able to fight them. They will just show up on our shores, and done. We are done. Freedom is done. Society's done. And let me tell you something. We aren't done because I haven't said we're done. We're not done. Just remember, vote out the politicians. Vote them out. The incumbents. Get rid of them. And please like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys on next Saturday for another exciting episode. Thank you very much.